My name is Gina Tron, and I'm the author of A Blurry Photograph of Home by Alien Buddha Press, a chapbook about, well, it's about a lot of things, but about kind of the distortion of memories and that yearning for a sense of home. And also, it's just about moving around a lot and feeling disconnected from home and trying to figure out what home is and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to read a few poems from this. I'm going to start with Period Piece. Rejoice, the woman is here, lava spilling from my groin. The thing I pretend does not exist because I don't like to think of myself or friends as sexual beings. Just heads on sticks, or family. And when I told my mom it happened, don't tell dad, I pleaded. Don't tell him that I am now the thing that one will pretend not to exist. But as I descended down the stairs of carried white and mortar, in black stockings, red plaid skirt, and a pad, a body now bleated, carrying books, a pen, and pads, she whispered in his ear. He looked up at me, then down in disgust. Exited stage right as I entered stage left. This one is called Home. When I think of home, I think of sitting by the window as the sun sets into snow, waiting for mom's car to appear on the road in the horizon so she drives under a tunnel of trees. So I can be wrapped in a parent's blanket, a gift I know not yet how comforting. When I think of home, I think of Christmas catalogs in a rural mailbox surrounded by birds, wild and who care nothing for me, but to me they are still cartoons with names and an infinity for my presence. When I think of childhood, I think of friendly dinosaurs and amicable whales and cheerful dolphins. As I grow, I learn the whales are indifferent to me. The dolphins may drown or rape me and laugh, and dinosaurs don't give a shit either. They no longer exist. Trade school. Tabitha's dad smelled like oil and beer, and his arms were full of grease. But his heart was full of love for Tabitha, his sweetie, his princess, and he'd kiss her and listen to her. But he wasn't educated, my parents would say. But I felt like a cozy fireplace when I was around him, but by proxy only. But he wasn't cultured, they would say. But what I wouldn't give to throw the pink couch, the one nobody was allowed to sit on, into their flame and have just a speck of that warmth, I would cover myself in rust and miseducation and happily drown in yager, wrapped in gold lace. If someone was proud of me for just existing too, I'd trade in. All right, dry. A promise trapped in a bottle of KY. A promise ring, invisible, hanging at Claire's. I sit on pavement. I sit on sand. A periwinkle shirt, silk, J.C. Penney fluorescence. Fall to the ground, shattered. Shards of ancient glass. I sink in water. I sink in land, sinking into skin, linking up until teeth removed like a cat's, following the pinch of bacteria. Stray now, tagless, stalking abandoned malls and searching for the remnants of life. Pictures. You look at a picture of a woman wearing a jumpsuit with fur, with dilated eyes, smiling, and with cool bracelets. How vintage, how interesting. And you'd think those who admire it all now could see her at the time, but trust me, they could not. I looked at a picture as a child of friends embraced, and the dark room in the dark corner of my mind assumed a deep connection, and as life develops, yes, that is sometimes true, but often it doesn't develop in the way once clear, solid those relationships are just a blur of a crowd, a friend here, captured under lights, a friend there with drinks, just lumped together, blobbed over time. A treasured Polaroid disintegrates into mere negatives. A photo of a friend in embrace, once framed, is now folded and embraced by the bottom of a cardboard box, caked in mildew, nearby a deteriorating half heart, once silver, now greenish. I glanced at a picture of a wedding. How happy and beautiful she looked, with a veil over the foundation caked upon her. On the most important day of her life, they say. But what I couldn't see yet was the whiskey on her breath, laminated in nostalgia, and the urine under her dress, and the knowledge that she had already possessed, that the love of her life, who she loved to the moon and back, the apple of her eye, has been banging her bestie for years. A photo of a collapsing bridge, a faded print of a forest on fire, nostalgia in tragedy, which could decorate a room, becomes meaningless when you're inside it, just a train moving forward. Ignite. During the shroud of inexperience, I'd hold my Zippo lighter and crawl inside it, only to wait for the exciting parts of my life to ignite, so I could be fiery and full of life. Still, I could see the room around me, hold and feel without entering space. I was in the room, still, when I did catch the fires of my pyro beanstalk, growing dreams, and reached all the sparks. I found another streak in space I wanted to chase. The experience of no longer being out there, being able to feel again, like I can see a lighter in my hands, surrounded by four walls. I dreamed to get back to the time I dreamed of now. Boxes. And we'll never have to move boxes by ourselves again, I asked. We'll never have to move boxes by ourselves again, he promised. As much of my life fluttered around us, some items trapped up in boxes, dance recital butterflies and baby shoe moths. But soon all the boxes were split into a big box, towns away, and also a garage, states away, and then also a box of an apartment in a city skyline, and more seas and oceans away, many miles away. And my hand moves them all, not even ourselves, but before all the boxes converge into another roaming spirit, the wedding cake topper of dead relatives, war memorabilia that feels like war to look at, fading photographs of smiling faces holding children that would grow into weeds they would feel indifferent about, all again in movement, to be pushed around north and then into a forest before burning up in smoke. Overcast. Sitting on a black beach on an island, the only tourist on it from far, far away, overcast skies above my unspoken voice, unable to communicate with anyone for miles and miles, surrounded by smoking volcanoes, and thinking about the house in your eyes, and how I wish I could step into them and open the door. Frustrated that the boat and then the train and then the airplane and then the other airplane wouldn't be the only barriers around. And that night when my eyelids closed and I opened up the door to my house inside them, we were sitting on a beach together on top of rocks, and it's still overcast as all hell, but the ocean before us is glimmering regardless. Thank you.